Welcome back. In the last episode, you saw me cutting a bunch of dovetails for these boxes. Today, I'm going to keep going with that. I've got a lot of work to do, so stick around. I hope you enjoy. So before I pull these back apart to start addressing tops and bottoms and other things, now that I've got them dry fit together, I can see if there's any unevenness in these sides, and I do have that in a few spots. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and flush those spots up with a hand plane. After that, I'm going to take them apart and take them over to the router table. So the next step is going to be to route a channel in the sides of the boxes that will seat the tops and the bottoms. So what I've got set up here, this is a piece of scrap milled down at the same time as the material for my boxes. And I've got a 1/4 inch bit in my router table that's set a 1/4 inch up and a 1/4 inch out, so that the channel it will create will be, again, a 1/4 inch down and go halfway through my piece. I also have some marks both on my fence and on the table that I drew in that will give me a start and stopping point for each piece. I don't want this channel to go all the way through, so what I will do is bring the piece down onto the bit, rotating, bring it all the way through until I get to the second mark. Stop there. Okay, now that my grooves are cut for the top and the bottom, I need to take a measurement for the actual tops and bottoms. I found that the easiest way to do this is to get an exact measurement off of an assembled box. So I've gone ahead and dry fit one of the boxes again, and I've clamped it up tight. So what I've got is just a couple pieces of scrap wood I'm going to use, a couple pieces of tape, and this is real easy. You'll never get a tape measure or ruler in here to get the exact measurement. So a couple pieces of scrap wood, you expand them out until they're on the sides, and then I'm just going to go ahead and tape them together and lock in that exact dimension. And then I can go and actually measure this piece, which is going to give me that exact dimension. All right. So that's one way. And there's my second dimension. And since I cut all of these the same, that dimension will work for all of them. Okay, so I've got all the tops and bottoms cut to size, and now I just need to go through and install them. On the bottoms, they're just simple 1/4-inch pieces that'll slide right in. Nothing left to do on those. On the tops, however, I've got something that I want to try out for a couple of them. For the others, I'm going to do a raised panel on them. Since I'm doing multiple boxes, why not have a little bit of fun and try some new stuff out? So. Okay, so I'm over at the router table. I just finished up with the table saw, cutting a rabbet into the tops to allow it to fit into the sides at a point where the top of the top and the top of the side are going to be flush with each other. So I've got that joinery taken care of, so I know exactly what material needs to be left here. The next thing I'm going to do is to set up the raised panel bit. Now I've got the raised panel bit in the router and raised up to where you can see that the top of the blade here is going to just kiss the top of the material that was left where it will sit in the sides. So it's just a substantial amount of material that it's still going to pull off, even though I did already take some of it off. So I've got my router, this is a large bit, I've got my router set to its slowest speed. And I'm going to take this very slowly and very carefully. For the last 3 tops, I'm going to be cutting my joinery at the table saw. So I've got a 1/4-inch dado stack set up here, and I've already dialed it in using a test piece, both in terms of the height of the cut and the distance of the fence. So I'm going to go ahead, this is going to be a multi-step process. I'm going to be cutting a dado down the side, and then I'm going to come back and trim one piece of that off, and that'll make sense in a minute. This is exactly what I was going for. As you can see, I cut back that bottom about a 1/4 inch so that it can fit inside the grooves on the sides, but still allow the top to come out and be flush with the front while giving it room to move. There's still going to be a little bit of space in there for expansion and contraction, but on the front edge, I will get a nice flush front. Then I can then treat this top edge, and on the inside you can see that it will still free float. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I've got 2 of the boxes glued up and I've got the inlay done on one of them. The next video I'm gonna dedicate to this inlay. I'll get into the details of that. I've still got a couple more boxes that I'm gonna do it on. After that, I'll get into cutting these open, adding hinges, hardware, and also I'm gonna be building some legs for a couple of these to just raise them up just a little bit, make them more of a display box. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.